Gosh, I remember that lunch so well. Wow, good morning, everyone. Good morning. So, first things first, we know now that, again, I said it last week, I don't have to worry about if this talk isn't any good because you guys were through the seal. So, thank you very much. Okay. And in case you didn't use that music to feel moved, pinch yourself. You may not be alive. This may not be alive. Wow. I need the blinker.
Oh, here's the blinker.
There we go. Yeah, so this week's talk is entitled Exactly. Exactly. And it arose out of my Daha moment when I realized how vague I am sometimes and how vague my students are. And one of my students in Raleigh, North Carolina, when I started talking about vagueness, gave me this priceless line. What happens in vagueness stays in vagueness. Is that priceless? What happens in vagueness stays in vagueness. We don't do anything in our lives in terms of the activities in a vague way. We do it in very specific ways. And so I began toying with the idea that unity is maybe a little too hyper-focused on oneness and being oneness and meditating and being in that state, and maybe we're not saying enough about the process by which we manifest. And the way we do that is a pretty exact process. And last week's talk I called The Joy of Limitation, because in order to be specific, we've got to limit something, don't we? So let's begin with this centering statement. I built the consciousness I wanted to live in and from. Together? I build the consciousness I want to live in and from. So the supposition there is whatever consciousness you're living now, somehow, consciously or unconsciously, mindlessly or mindfully, you somehow have decided this. You are manifesting the consciousness you are now. It isn't being imposed upon you. There isn't a God deciding it for you, and there's certainly not a devil doing it. Okay? And the beauty of these unity teachings is they are kind of a raw material or a catalyst people can use to change and grow. And in my interactions with people from this congregation over 3 years and not seeing some people for months or years, I see such amazing growth. Okay? And you two lovely people, and Teresa and Laura, when I first met them as students, they were lovely flowers. And who knew that they could use these teachings to be even more beautiful flowers, right? And so, yeah. And I hope you appreciate the changes you've made in yourselves, because I just, wow. You know, I often say, if one student uses what I teach to change, I'm satisfied. So I'm a very satisfied man. And I think Judith is here somewhere. Judith is, yeah. Okay, so we lost that monitor. And that one. Okay. So let's just work on this one. Or not. Hey Ben, so what's going on? Did I turn this off? Just talk amongst yourselves. I don't do stand-up, so. Thanks, Barbara. Okay, that light's on. This one's, there we go. And often when you turn one on, the other one goes off, so you have to kind of be patient with it. There we go. There we go.
So black slides. They don't like black slides. Our monitors don't have black slides.
Because I didn't have one. Oh, you mean just a black background?
Yeah.
Oh. Vicky.
Okay, now they're all on.
There we go. We got one going here. Okay, so why are we here? Why are you here? Why do you attend a Unity Church? Why do you attend classes? Have you really even stopped to be specific about that? So I think most of us are here To be better, aren't we? To be better human beings. And even that is vague. So how do we become better? You know, somehow, some way, someday I'm going to be better. However, if that's all I'm affirming, if that's all I'm doing, I might improve a little, and I most likely will not improve a lot. So how do we do that? What I've discovered is we do it exactly. We do it the most effectively when we're being precise. When we know what we don't want and know what we want. So that was a very complicated diagram. So that diagram was supposed to show you that in all of the world, in the physical universe, in the infinity that God is, the only place where we can affect change in our consciousness is at our conscious phase of mind. And this diagram, it's in that light blue box in the bottom. Because it's in our conscious phase of mind that we experience the outer world. We experience the events. And we even experience the effects of our own thinking process, don't we? So our own thinking process can give rise to images and attitudes and ways of being. So the only place that I can do any work is in my conscious phase of mind. And the only way I can do that well is to do it mindfully. To be really present time aware of what's going on. So if we look at that in another way, we have a conscious phase of mind, a subconscious phase of mind. We participate and are, in a way, the collective phase. And all of this exists in a sea of the superconscious phase of mind. What we call God sometimes, or infinite potential, or divine mind. Whatever you call it, this whatever it is the very substrate out of which we manifest. And so what do we have in our conscious phase of mind? If this is the only place we can do effective work and spiritual growth and being better and having a better consciousness, the only things we have to work with are thoughts, ideas, beliefs, feelings, emotions, and experiences. I would also add images there and attitudes there today. However, feelings, emotions, and experiences are more of like effects of your thoughts, your ideas, and beliefs. So I might be aware of emotion, but I can't really directly work with the emotion and affect true change because it's an effect. And in consciousness, cause and effect come together. And so we want to work on the cause. So what is the belief that's fueling my experience? What is the belief that's fueling my attitude? What is my belief that's fueling a particular emotion, like anger or happiness? So in order for us to change our consciousness, we have to relimit the infinite potential to get something specific. Because if you think about infinite potential, it contains the potential to be everything, while in the moment it's no thing. And it takes our consciousness to shape and mold it, limit and define it in particular ways to get a specific outcome. How are we doing so far? Very good?
Yeah.
You know, I'm really good if you talk back to me. I teach.
What does CNS stand for?
Consciousness. CNS, it's abbreviation for consciousness. Okay, I've chosen 3 letters from the word consciousness.
He's creating his own
That's
system.
on my words.
Well, isn't that cool? So how would you abbreviate it?
C-O-N.
C-O-N? I don't know. Okay. Okay, so last week I shared this, and I think it'd be good if we went over it a little bit. In order to have a specific table out here in the world of form, we have to first limit the concept of table, don't we? There's an idea of table. We have to limit it in specific ways in order to build a table. And when we build the table, we could destroy that table or do anything we want to that table, and we'll never find the idea, because the idea doesn't exist in the physical form. And no matter how many people use that idea, And no matter how many tables we produce out of that idea of table is never changed and it never gets used up. That's the beauty of an idea, and that's the beauty of your consciousness, because you can think of your consciousness as mind idea. At the point of your awareness, you have infinite potential to use any idea you want. You can limit the idea of idea to any idea you want. And so the same is true around the beliefs we hold and the thoughts we hold. And we limit ourselves to beliefs based on things that happened in our childhood. And while they might have been useful then, they may not be useful now. And those beliefs are either subconscious or conscious, and they're holding you back. They hold me back from raising my consciousness now. So we might say, I desire to go to college, I desire to go on vacation, I desire to change my diet, I desire a different place to live, I desire a recreational vehicle, I desire to be better, I desire to be spiritual, I desire to be the Christ. But you see how none of that is specific enough? As long as it remains vague, it remains undemonstratable. If it's vague, you're not going to be able to demonstrate it. No, I desire to go to college. Well, that's too vague. What do I have to do next? I got to limit it to a few selections, or maybe just one. Then I got to apply to it. I have to take very specific actions once I limit it. I desire to go on a vacation. You know, I've known people who said, I want to go on vacation someday, and never go because they never get specific enough. You know, it remains a wish rather than a true one or a desire. And the same thing is true for spiritual growth. I want to be more the Christ consciousness. I want to be more Christ-like. I want to be more spiritual. Well, if you stay there, it's just pretty. And it feels good, but its usefulness stops there. So why do you want to change? Ever thought about that? You're here. Why do you want to change? And if you do want to change, then what do you want to change? Okay? Most people would answer that in another vague way. I want to change my ego. Some go as far as I want to kill off my ego. Okay? Believe me, you need your ego. There's adverse parts that's made up of our inhibiting beliefs. But we need our egos. But we got to be specific. So look at this. Wow, that's just a list I pulled from the internet of ways we show up when we're empowered from our adverse egos. Think about that. Aggressive, detached, jealous, domineering, emotional. And can you see that this list is really just made up of effects? And so we could look at this list and we could choose one. Choose one you identify with. Do it now. Choose one that you identify with. Maybe you're cynical. Maybe you're bossy. And when you're that, you really don't like yourself very much.
Or it feels bad.
Or it even feels, or that might be the first clue, right, Laura?
Usually the first
In my body, it feels bad. I'm going, what was that? You know, a moment ago, I was the expression of joy, like Deanne is. I call her zealicious, by the way. Zealicious, I mean, she demonstrates zeal.
Oh, you've done it now.
Okay, all right. So it might be you first become aware of a way you're being that you feel uncomfortable about. Or maybe, like from the song, the person you're with is your bird, your saddle, and says, you know what, that was pretty aggressive. Right? And then we get a choice to explore it or not. And so when we explore these uncomfortable ways of being, we can dig. We call it doing the shadow work, digging down and finding the belief that's fueling that behavior. And that's what we want to remove. So now we have something to remove. And then, what do we want to replace it with? You know, in Unity, we're talking about denials and affirmations all the time. Well, the denial is disempowering a belief you don't want. The affirmation is about claiming what you want to be. And really, what you already are, listen, already are in potential. You see, you already are the divine in potential. Limiting it to your personality. Simple as that. And if you don't like how your personality is, you simply have to align yourself with the infinite potential and re-limit it.
Say it again.
Say it again, right? So if you don't like the personality you are now, all you have to do is figure out what you're going to change, what you're going to replace it with, and you do that through prayer and meditation as the foundational work. And we go back into the infinite oneness and remold it, reshape it, redefine it, relimit it in the way we want it to be. But we have to do it specifically. So look at this list. Another 1-minute search on Mr. Google. Yeah, right? You like this better, right? Okay, so is there one on here that you'd like to develop to replace the one on the other list you don't want? And since these are, again, effects, being charitable is an effect of some state of consciousness. It's an effect of some belief you're holding. What belief do you want to take on to replace the one you don't want? That's the only way you're going to consciously grow yourself spiritually. I would bet that the prosperity course that Ken is teaching talks about specific things that are adjustments in consciousness, right? And Katie said, denials and affirmations are consciousness conditioners. Isn't that kind of cool? Consciousness conditioners. Do you want to recondition your consciousness? The Apostle Paul, I'm the faux Paul. Okay? The Apostle Paul said, we need to renew our minds. Okay? It's a lovely concept, but you can only do it specifically. So what do you want to let go of? What belief, what attitude, what way of showing up is really no longer working for you? And what would you like to be now to replace that? So that you are better, so that you are more spiritual, so you are stepping into that self-realization of expressing more of the divine potential you inherently are. So it amounts to, I want to be less of this and more of that. Pretty simple that way, isn't it? I want to be less of this and more of that. And then you do your work. And you do your work prayer and meditating, you do your work with denials and affirmations, you do your daily work, and you take actions. You take actions to support the new you want to be. And you stop the actions that reinforce the you don't want to be. Right in your tracks, right when you're aware you're doing it. I build the consciousness I want. We can stop right there. I build the consciousness I want. You build the consciousness you want. The consciousness you have now is somehow the consciousness you wanted. Yikes. Some of mine isn't pretty. I have an ugly twin. Does anybody else have an ugly twin? We decided in the 12 Powers class that when I get overzealous, I don't show up as zealicious. I show up as zeal vicious. Yeah, so that's something I'm working on. Why do I show up that way? It's not effective. If I keep doing it over and over again, I keep getting the same results. What aspects of who you think you are do you want to disempower? And who do you want to be? And the time to start is now. I build the consciousness I want. Together? I build the consciousness I want. One more time. I build the consciousness I want. And the secret is, folks, you cannot not do that. You are always building and demonstrating the consciousness you want right here and now. And usually it's mindlessly. It's time to be mindful. Thank you.
Awesome.
right here, right now, I invite you to pivot your awareness from the outer to the inner. Focusing on your awareness of one power, one presence. Since there is only one power, one presence, the power that you are must be that. And breathe into that knowing that God, Christ, divine potential are all really synonyms we give for an inner experience and an inner awareness of oneness. Sitting here, sitting now, you are and have infinite potential. And the beauty is you are deciding moment by moment, heartbeat by heartbeat, breath by breath, how you're using your infinite potential. How you're refining it, defining it, forming it, limiting it, so that it's useful right here and now. So I invite you to rest gently and peacefully and simply feel that presence at the point of your awareness. God is love. You are love. I am love. God is love. I am love. Let's say that together. God is love. I am love. God is life. I am life. Together. God is life. I am life. God is health. I am health. God is health. I am health. God is wholeness. I am wholeness. God is wholeness. I am wholeness. God is abundance. I am abundance. God is abundance. I am abundance. What God is, you are, because you are the infinite potential. You are the thing itself, right here and now. In fact, you are the thing itself, using the thing itself to express the you think you are. You are the thing itself, using the thing itself to express the you think you are. My mother used to say, just who do you think you are? I'm divine. How about you? Are you divine? I am divine. Together. I am divine. So how are you going to define the divine? How do you define the divine? How do you limit? How do you give it shape? What form do you give it? Because that's how you make it most useful for you right here, right now. I create the consciousness I want. Together? I create the consciousness I want. Together. I create the consciousness I want. And friends, that is the forever truth. You cannot not create the consciousness you are. And we make that truth ever more present, ever more aware through the power of our words followed by our deeds. You are divine. I am divine.